Recording everybody who walks by, although we can do that as well.
I mean, we'll put the gas mileage on.
All right. So how do you think when you hit the import new, when you hit that button, how do you think that the text photos with text gets into the app?
Like get sent as in I don't understand the question.
When you click on import new and then the photos show up, what's your impression of how that happens?
So what I assume happens is that there is some state like, okay, it had done it till this date or till this particular photo, and then it scans the other photos in the iPhone, the more recent ones, and then there's some image processing going on. There's like some image processing going on where it's extracting text and seeing if there's any text. What is interesting is to see if it's just a general photo of someone, like if it's a portrait photo of a person, there's just a street sign in the back, would it still detect something like that? Is it like what is considered enough text to be imported inside this app? Because this is most useful for text, so users may not want like stuff with street signs, but that would have to be a very intelligent algorithm to like come up with things. But I assume that it has scanned all the pictures, and whichever have any text, it then pulls into the app.
And that is a good point. One of the things I thought about earlier is, what if you're wearing this shirt, you take a selfie, it's there's text. We take that, but this one it wouldn't take. So that might be an interesting thing to adjust. On the other hand, if I'm standing in front of a sign and I want a selfie that includes again, I may not want what's on the sign as text. So, but that's a good observation. Thanks. Okay. So next, when you start up the app automatically, now you may have noticed. I probably should phrase this as a question. You may have noticed that when you open it up, it already had some pictures in it, and then you had import new to bring more pictures in. Would you expect instead they would just, when you start it up, just go ahead and bring in any new pictures?
Yes, I think I was a little confused, I guess, with the term import new. No, not really. The term was fine, but I guess I expected it to automatically be there. Or if not, to be able to take a picture from within the app. Like to open up the camera from within the app and take it. Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's user based, because some users would like to have that control. I can see cases where it would but I think I would prefer it to directly turn on.
Okay. And I know we just talked about this, but I've used the term import new on the app. Is that, do you think that's a useful phrase? Would there be a better phrase, more descriptive?
No, I think it's import new sounds about right. It's just for a second, like a very split second, but that was before I knew that I had to import it. For a split second, I was like, this was not the photo that like I was supposed to. So it, for a split second. But once I read the import new, it became clear to me.
Okay. So once the app has imported new photos, would you expect the app to show just the ones it just imported, or all of them, including the new ones?
That's interesting. I would expect it to show everything, but sorted by the latest.
Okay. Latest on top or on bottom?
On top.
Okay.
So that way I can quickly access the latest ones, but it could still show the bottom ones in a like this. So yeah, I'd expect to see everything, because then otherwise to toggle back to something to see all together, that would be very confusing for me. So I assume that import is like what do I say? Like it adds up. Yeah.
Okay. And did I just ask that? Yeah. What order do you think the pictures with text should be shown in? I think we just answered that one, which is everything with the latest.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. This is how this project started. I forget if I showed this to you the last time we talked. We started with a concept called a wearable scanner.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see this.
And this is something that I and one of my classmates built as an engineering prototype in a class. And there's no user research, nothing. It was just basically it was a wearable device that you could scan. And as you can see, it was not a wireless device. It was very, very wired. And you could scan a URL, and it would open the URL in the default browser on the attached computer. It just wasn't very portable, and it ran very slow. So when I went into this, I thought, well, let me just go ahead and try and do some research on the concept of a wearable scanner. And now at the moment, I've come up with a prototype which is not a wearable. It's built as an app within the phone. The question I've got is, do you think you would wear a wearable scanner?
Like, maybe it depends on what kind of wearable it is. If it's integrated into an existing wearable, like a watch. So I don't wear wearables, so maybe not the right person for that. But something like this, just because it's like I would, even if it was wireless, if it was something to my finger, maybe not. I would not wear it. But if it's something like integrated into like a watch or something, then possibly, yeah.
Okay.
It's just because I just assume that removing and putting this on like might be like I'd have to switch very quickly between that. So yeah.
Okay. And then secondly, if you had a wearable scanner and you were going to try to scan, say, I don't know, this, how would you expect it to operate?
So this is a tricky one because if it was just text, like I would say something like, oh, pull up my default word processing tool. This has a table in it as well. Like, I mean, I can imagine if it was just a very complex table, I would say, oh, pull it up in Excel. If it's like a very smart algorithm, which auto populates it into Excel, like detecting the lines. So I don't know if the scanner is able to detect that this is a table.
Yeah, that might be a bad example when you think about it. Suppose instead we use that as an example.
Okay. I would expect that it just pulls it into my default word processing tool, whether it's Pages or Word or if there's a way to set that to, like, I don't know, transfer to Google Docs or something, that would be pretty cool too. Yeah, but I would expect that it just pulls up in a Word.
Okay, so that's where the destination would be. And how would you expect to kind of pull that into, say, the Word or
okay.
Google Doc?
So I would expect there to be two modes to this. One where I just want to like do the whole thing. So maybe like a gesture where I can just like swipe the whole thing. But I know that especially with a fingernail, that level of detail, I mean a finger, not a fingernail. Like I might want to just specifically, actually I might use that kind of thing when I'm like, okay, so I'll come to that later. But with this level of detail, I might also want to take very specific terms from like maybe this is a thick thing, but I want to just see like if I was studying this and I just want like this contact number, so I'd just be like this and get the contact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question? But I also think there should be a way to scan the whole thing.
That's a good observation. Thanks, both. Okay.
And also, I said I would not wear this, but I think one situation where I might is if I'm studying from a textbook and I just want to. So what I do now is to highlight, but I don't know, highlighting, like, it tends to get lost because you go back and you end up reading the whole thing again. So it'd be nice if I could just, suppose this was a textbook and I'm just trying to get like some keywords which I can then later revise before an exam. So I just do this, and just starts auto populating into a document, and boom, I have a study guide there. So that would be an interesting way to do it. But like, just the fact that it's a separate variable feels a bit intrusive, that's all. But this is one situation where I would use it, maybe not on a daily basis, but for studying from a textbook.
Okay.
I know nowadays it's mostly ebooks, but if I was studying from a textbook, yeah.
Super.